Good morning, America and Australia. Good evening, Europe and Africa. Good night, Asia. I'm very glad to welcome you all at the Unicorn Cup World Finals. We finally made it. This is the end of the season. Everyone is happy because it is the second batch when we finally will know who our winners are or is. I am see already lots of people in the audience. Many more will be joining us as we go on. Because lots of people are connecting to our great happening. But before we start, let's see a little video that will tell about us in a nutshell. Video, please. We are broadcasting to the whole world. My name is Anna Fedorova, and I'm CEO of Unicorn.Events. Truly extraordinary, the world's largest startup pitch contest by geography and the number of the events held already. Welcome to the Unicorn Cup, where the world of investors meets extraordinary startups. We are very grateful to our sponsors who made it all possible. We would like to say thank you to Network VC, the management company of our global ecosystem and main center of the venture activity. If you are a VC or want to do venture business, consider Network VC, become a partner at venture funds. Scan this QR code for more details. Silicon Valley Club, where the hottest deals for business angels are made. Accredited investors, this message is for you. If you want to invest into the startups that win our unicorn battles together with other VCs and business angels, scan this QR code to know more, and we will see you with our deals. Startup Inc. for small check investors from all over the world. Follow the link to seize great opportunities. Thank you very, very much. But today, finally, we have gathered together after going over a huge number of startup applications, seeing lots of pitches, but only the best ones are here who will be pitching live. The winners of the semifinals unicorn battles that got the highest scores from our esteemed judges and startups who were awarded by our sponsor have the honor to present the region or the country they had or the industry they had won in. Welcome, winners of the industry-focused unicorn battles. This amazing event is brought to you by us, Unicorn.Events. We are the world's largest pitch competition where successful startups that have a potential to become unicorns pitch for private investors and venture funds. We started our events back in 2009, 13 years ago, almost 14, and do them on a regular basis all over the world, online, offline, any events. We have done more than 300 pitch events, had seen thousands of startups on all the continents. Boy, I'm so proud of my team. Girls, boys, you are great. Thank you for being so awesome and doing wonderful events. Join us to see best innovations and meet great personalities. Always something going on at Unicorn.Events. Because Unicorn Events really help startups to fundraise, succeed, and become leaders in their industry. We have thousands of startups joining our community and meeting directly our investors. We have vast community of VCs, business angels, and we can't be more proud when we sum up numbers. We look at the Crunchbase, see how startups are doing, and guess what? Over the 5 years only, last 5 years, our startups were able to fundraise almost $1 billion. That's a huge number. So don't you just love unicorn events? I surely do. And right now, I have a really wonderful announcement. We are inviting all of you to come to see us in Silicon Valley in person at the beginning of July, from 10th July to the 14th of July. It will be exciting 4-day program filled. It's an immersion experience in Silicon Valley venture industry life. It will be a program filled with events, meetups, lectures, get together, and building really network. You will be intruded into the wonderful communities. We will introduce you to our VC business angel community. You will participate in the Silicon Valley unicorn battle by yourself. Really encourage you to join us for this. Please contact me or our event managers to know more, and see you very soon in July. And of course, we wouldn't be so successful if not for our partners. We have partners in 85 regions of the world. They do unicorn pitches with us. That's event for startups or investors. They're managing the community. And thank you, guys. We have seen so many amazing startups in so many locations. We have been meeting wonderful investors from all over the world. Thank you for being with us. Anyone is interested to join our international family of Unicorn Events partners doing unicorn pitches with us, please contact me. Let's do business together and help the world of startups and world of investors. And I would like to remind you that our events are live. We are broadcasting all over the world via social media. So please subscribe, please put like and share the links you see right now in our chat. So by this, you will help startups to become more famous. You will help us, the world of startups, to find the right investor. You will help yourself to showcase, be seen by many, many people. And thank you for standing by our side. And right now, please let me present Victoria, our wonderful event manager, who does amazing Silicon Valley and California events. Victoria, the stage is yours. Please lead us through what we have for the second batch.
Thank you very much, Anna. Yes, I'd like to introduce our funds that are helping support our events and our media partners. Let's start with our media partners. Thank you to IT eMedia, The Kimes, Crypto News Z, Expert Dojo, Reciprocity ROI, and Female Founders for supporting our events and publishing them to their audience. Let's move on to the funds. Thank you. Here we have represented Mans International, QP Digital, Gold Ventures Investment, Urana Capital, H7 Biocapital, Ray or R3I Ventures, 7BC Venture Capital, Vice Ocean Tech, Lima Ventures, Drummond Ventures, Ideal Capital Ventures, Boza Ventures, Areta Ventures, Alpha One Ventures, SAEIML Ventures, FIDA Grove Partners, 100X VC, and KPMG US, together with Uncell Global Ventures. Thank you very much. These startups are represented by our amazing judges. And let's move on to the introduction of our panel. Anna, I'd like to pass the mic to you to introduce our official judges.
Thank you, Victoria. My pleasure. Yes, we have different categories of judges voting for the startups, evaluating their investment potential. Business angels, they vote separately, form a group, expert board where we have representatives of venture funds, accelerators, also form a group, and official judges, those wonderful people who lead a community of some sort of that help startup or venture industry, and they represent a country that they play a crucial role in. And I am really honored to start with Alexander Soroka, partner and CEO of Network VC in the USA. Alexander, you're leading international community of startups and investors. How are you doing?
Great, Anna, great. Thank you. And I'm really glad to be here today because it's a spring final and we'll see the winners of semifinals, and I'm really excited. So talking about our fund, we are usually invest in the United States, but in fact, we can invest in Latin America, Middle East, Asia, Europe, and we have some startups from our portfolio. We are investing 2 startups monthly today. Our average check is several hundred K, but no more than $1 million usually. And we are industry agnostic, but we don't invest in hardware, to say the truth. So that's probably all. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexander, for being with us. And I'm honored to introduce you to Kelly Luo from Canada. Kelly is a founder and investor at Mons International. Kelly, nice to see you.
Hello, Anna. Nice to see you. I'm thrilled to be here today. Greetings to fellow judges and outstanding entrepreneurs. Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly Luo, founder and investor of Mons International based in Toronto, Canada. I had the privilege of working with tech entrepreneurs and investors from over 50 countries for the past 18 years. We focus on B2B tech companies in the manufacturing, healthcare, and smart living space. Our average check size is up to $1 million. I wish all the participants the best of luck.
Thank you, Kelly, so much. And it's my honor to introduce you to Leon Isen from Israel. Leon is a venture partner at Network VC and senator at World Business Angel Investment Forum. Leon, thank you so much for coming to the second batch. Also, you had been at the first, so you will be comparing how did startups pitch.
Yeah, thank you very much, Anna. It was amazing experience in the first batch, and I'm just happy to see and to listen to these amazing startups again. And I'm a serial entrepreneur and senator to Israel at World Business Angel Investment Forum, where we also have some not so big investment venture capital fund, and we are working with more than 100 countries worldwide, with startups, with governments, and trying to contribute into the local ecosystems and take them global. Thank you.
Thank you, Leon, so much. And please welcome Fabio Bottacci from Brazil. Fabio is a venture partner at Kobo Funds. Fabio, welcome. Fabio, I see you're muted. Please unmute yourself to speak.
Sorry, guys. Can you hear me now?
Yes, all is good.
Okay, sorry. So I was saying that actually I'm Italian, but I'm living and working in Brazil since 2001. So it's more than 20 years. I recently joined Kobo Funds as venture partner, focusing specifically in industrial IoT, Industry 4.0 startups, because I have an extensive experience in industrial companies and executive. And since 2015, I founded my own strategic advisory company focused essentially on industrial IoT. So now with Kobo, we are targeting pre-Series A and mid-cap companies that want to, let's say, accelerate their growth. And we are doing this by connecting the investor with the more interesting startup through a kind of crowdfunding platform online. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you, Fabio. Thank you so much. Enjoy. And welcome Gabriel Zanko from wonderful Colombia. Gabriel is a venture partner at Orano Capital. Hello, Gabriel.
Hi, Anna. Thank you so much. And everyone, glad to be here again and enjoy the great startups. Yes, I'm based in Colombia, between Colombia, Switzerland. The last few years, the last 6-7 years, I've been advising, investing, researching technology, initially from AI and fintech. Then I went more into Web3 and now with an angle on sustainability, renewable energies, and through several structures. It could be angel investments, it could be incubation, it could be syndication or through the fund. So happy to be here, Anna. Good luck.
Happy to have you. Yes, thank you, Gabriel. And welcome Kai Groenwald from Netherlands. Kai is investor at Radiach Angel Syndicate. Hello, Kai.
Hey everyone, I'm Kai and I'm humbled and excited to be part of this event again. I'm based in the Netherlands and Saudi Arabia currently and active as an executive and angel investor. I recently started via the Angel Syndicate as a co-founder and managing partner, where we invest into early stage games, content and technology ventures. Tickets are usually up to about $250,000 and we work with companies around the world. I wish everyone good luck and much success. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Kai, for coming. And please welcome Junkohiro Marivaka, venture partner at R3I Ventures from Japan, but also leader of Startup Grind, Fukuoka, Nagoya, and Tokyo. Hi, John.
Thank you, Anna, for inviting me. Good to see everyone. My name is Crazy John, aka John Kojo Moriwaka. I'm a venture partner at R3I Ventures based in Luxembourg, investing globally, deep tech, medtech. And I'm also advisor of Arca Venture Labs in Silicon Valley. We focus on B2B Indian startups, incubate, grow them to Silicon Valley for exits. And now I became a director of Startup Grind Tokyo as well. So it's 1 a.m. in Japan, and I'm very excited to be here. And best luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, John, so much. Yes, we have judges from all over the world. Some of them were already at our first batch that was made specially for Asian judges, European judges, for those who do not want to wake up late at night or early in the morning. But if the votes of the judges from the first batch will be summed up with the votes of the judges from the second batch. So dear judges, even if you have been to our first batch, please introduce yourself, pointing out what industry you invest in, what geography, what's check size. Everyone would like to know and hear about you. There is a yellow palm, raise your hand, you can push it and I will give you a floor. So go ahead. It's time to take a stage if you would like to introduce yourself.
If not, we will be.
Hi, everyone.
Oh,
I'm Rahul Mandal. I'm based in Dubai, and I used to work with UAE government based in Ras Al Khaimah, advising on strategy and investments. I now work for a construction firm in Dubai, handling digital transformation. And on my personal front, I've also been an angel investor to some companies in India.
wonderful, Rahul. Welcome. Great to see you. Hi, Gaio. I see your hand. Yes.
Hi, Anna. Greetings to everyone from sunny Belgrade. First of all, I would like to thank you for your trust. And I must admit that I was looking forward to today's event with excitement, since this is my second time that I'm officially meeting the Unicorn Cup through Unicorn.Events. And I'm really excited to be part of your N events in the past 2 years, especially considering the importance of the topic, the exceptional speakers, and of course, the expert event judges. As far as my background is concerned, the ones who already know me, I'm a seasoned finance executive with more than 17 years of experience in financial management and administration across Central, Eastern, and Southeast European countries, mostly working on senior analytics and business transformation roles in a corporate setting. as well as operations management within startups, SME, and SMB. So I'm quite experienced in different restructuring, reorganization processes, and continuous improvements, multicultural practice in promotion of automation and simplification of transactional finance building and managing high-performance team, business partnering, management of P&L, optimization of revenue, profitability and working capital, change management, strategic planning, financial reporting, mergers and acquisitions, and management consulting as well. So I'm here in the capacity of a business consultant and representative of 2 multifamily offices and an investment fund from Southeast Europe that mainly invest in deep tech, health tech, financial technology, and industry-agnostic startups with a ticket size between 50K and 350K euros. So I'm really excited to hear all the pictures and let the best one win. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Gaio, so much. Debasis, US, next one.
Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Happy to be here. I am Debashish. I am calling from Bangalore, India. I run my own startup accelerator, which typically invests small amount, initially take them on a cohort and then help them raise funds. The initial ticket size is anything between $10,000 to $50,000, and then help them to raise upwards of $100,000 through our angel network and our VC network globally. Focus areas are primarily tech and tech enabled. Right now, the investment thesis for the next couple of years is around sustainability, anything around circular economy, mobility, and sustenance is something which we are focusing on. Agri-tech is the other one. We are also trying to work very closely with early age entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship around specially abled entrepreneurs. We work with our partners globally. Incidentally, Expert Dojo is one of our partners, and I have been associated with Unicorn Cup for the last 3 years. Delighted, honored to be here, and humbled to be here. Happy to be here, and really delighted to see such great personalities sharing a stage with such great personalities. Thank you so much, and looking forward to everybody.
Thank you, Debashi, so much. Daniil, yes, your next one.
Thank you, Anna. Glad to be here again, and it's a remarkable event. And I don't know how many I've been to. I started joining since 2018 or so, and it's been so far one of the best events I've seen. So congratulations, you're doing super important job for venture capital and startup industry. So about myself, I'm the founder of Global World. This is the platform and community for startups and investors. And myself, I am an angel investor. I invest not actively, but occasionally with the check of 25 to 50K. And I have access to higher net worth individuals that can invest from 500 to 15 million. I'm connected with a lot of venture funds. I'm connected with startup network. So if you would like to reach out to me, I industry agnostic, and I consider investing in pre-seed, seed, and Series A companies. However, if you are very early, I need at least evidence of sales. So good luck, everyone, and happy to be connected on LinkedIn, and look forward to hear your pitches. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Daniil, and welcome. Andrei, your turn.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My pleasure to be here. I'm joining this wonderful event from Thessaloniki in Greece. As European Business Angel Network Annual Congress just ended, in which I had been participating for the last 2 days. And speaking of Alchemy Ventures, we kind of wear 2 hats. We are Angel Investment Club. We invest in early stage deals from pre-seed to pre-A, focusing on B2B and B2B2C services. And the ticket is up to $250,000 per investment. On the other hand, we, together with Deloitte Cyprus, we run a program for foreign scale-ups, helping them to redomicile to Europe and start doing business in European Union. So we'll be happy to collaborate with all the judges and everybody who's present here. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Andrei, so much. Jesse. You go.
Hey, hi everyone, and thanks for Unicorn Pitch for inviting me. I'm sorry about being too busy to be more present in the Network VC partner meeting. I will try to participate more. I myself is a angel investor with some angel groups. I like to co-invest with very top investors and also industry experts because I hope to follow unicorns growth. And I also have a humble goal is to participate in helping grow unicorns. So I have a venture studio, and with our root with Taiwan, we also work with Founder Institute to do a Taiwan Go Global program to help Taiwan startups to go to bigger market, to go to global market. And it could be bidirectional, can help with global startups to work with Taiwan big corporates or CVCs or Taiwan accelerators. And in general, climate tech, health tech, AI, semiconductor, these are our interests. Also space tech. And we invest, prefer to do deal by deal, more focused on the venture itself, not fund centered. And I like to collaborate as much as I can to with all these wonderful judges and investors. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse, so much. And Ross, ground it all, please.
Ross J. Wolf, Miami, Florida, or as we say, the 305 in the US. I've been in venture capital for 30 years as a founder with exits, then as a consultant to major corporations, and then as in-house counsel to the largest venture capital funds east of California with over $1 billion in assets around the world. I work around the world. I'm a best-selling author. I've done some high-profile companies from pre-seed to IPO, and I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you.
Oh, and I work with dragons and unicorns. If you guys want distinction between dragons and unicorns, happy to do it, but dragons is kind of where I'm playing right now. Unicorns are always great.
Cool. Great to know that. Welcome. That's really great panel of judges we have today, Victoria. What about startups?
Yes, Anna, we have 7 amazing startups who are either winners for unicorn battles or are judges and sponsors' choice. So they're going to present today, and each of them is going to have 3 minutes to pitch and 5 minutes for the Q&A. Judges are going to ask their questions during the Q&A, and the Q&A is going to be first come, first serve. So people who raise their hands first will get to ask the question first. And we're looking forward to our startups presenting.
We do too. Let's kick it.
Of course. I'm going to remind dear judges that while the startups are presenting, you can vote for the startups using the link, individual voting link that we've provided to you. The only thing you need to do is click on the link. It's going to get you to the page where you're going to have all of the startups in their pitching order with their logos, and you're going to assign them a score from 1 to 10. We suggest that you assign the score either on the investment potential or on the potential to become the unicorn. It is up to you how you define these two, and we ask you obviously to vote from the point of view of your background and your expertise. And startups, we suggest that you don't mention your fundraising amounts out loud, as it is constituted not regarded too well in some of the countries where we're broadcasting. You can have your fundraising amount on your slide, and you can mention that you're currently raising around, but just don't mention the specific amount out loud. And with that, let's proceed. And I'm going to invite our first startup to pitch. Deep Media from USA, California, coming to us from AI software and AR/VR battle. The stage is yours, and I'm going to be timing you, and I'm going to tell you when 3 minutes are up. And I suggest that you time yourself as well, just so you're more comfortable when I ask you to stop and say that the time is up. And Deep Media, please go ahead and share your screen. The stage is yours. 3 minutes and counting.
Great. Thank you, Victoria. Really excited to be here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, excellent. So my name is Rijal Gupta, and I am CEO of Deep Media, where we are pioneering synthetic generation and detection. I founded Deep Media almost exactly 6 years ago, and I remember the day I founded this company because it was the first time I had ever seen a deep fake video, a fake video featuring someone's face and voice being fully manipulated. It was a video of Jordan Peele and President Obama, and Jordan Peele's face and his voice and his emotions and his movements were being transferred to President Obama absolutely perfectly. I saw that video and was immediately struck by the power this technology had, and I knew that over the next 5 to 10 years, synthetic faces and voices were going to dominate social media. They were going to be online, on the internet, on news, even in Zoom conversations. And we were quickly approaching a world where anything could be faked with full realism. And that was exciting, but also scary. And now 5 or 6 years later, we are in that world where people are using fake faces and voices to go viral online or to scam people out of hundreds of thousands, millions, and even billions of dollars in some cases. And while generative AI is really exciting, we have to ask ourselves the question, and investors and companies are asking, how do we capture the value of AI while protecting against the threats? And that's why Deep Media was founded. We were founded to create applications that are ethical and use those applications to drive data sets which can power deepfake detection solutions. So we currently generate AI dubbing solutions for people across the entire world. Our synthetic applications have been downloaded over the past 5 years over 1 million times. And they take content, automatically understand what someone's saying, label the faces, voices, language, translate it, dub it, lip reanimate it, and do that at a wide scale across billions of people and taking hundreds of millions of their faces and voices across all these languages. While we do that, we generate the data sets that are required for detection. It is a flywheel effect where the more data we get, the better our generators get. The more people use our products, the more deepfake detection data we get, the better our generators get. Because as we build deepfake detection solutions, those are fed into our generators to make them more realistic. So by moving through this flywheel, we continue to pioneer efforts on both sides of things. Now, while the translation and dubbing market is quite large today, Forbes predicts that the deepfake detection market will be $30 billion by 2026. And we can already see why. Cyber criminals, fraudsters, scammers are generating billions of dollars in revenue through this fake content. And by detecting this content with a high degree of accuracy through our web platform, we can prevent that fraud from occurring. We pinpoint the exact moments in the face and voice that are fake. Our accuracy has recently achieved 99% across faces and voices, and we've recently partnered with the United States Department of Defense in a $1.5 million contract and a $25 million CRADA to help fight misinformation. We have 2 granted US patents, as well as 3 provisionals. We have the best partners in the world. The company was founded by myself, my co-founder Emma, who speaks 7 languages, and our lead engineer Palances, who has 8+ years of engineering experience at Google. And I believe my time is up, so please feel free to ask me any questions you might have.
Of course. Kelly, please go ahead with your question.
Thank you, Victoria. Glad to see you, Rijal. Great presentation. So my question is, translating content into different languages requires understanding of the nuances of each language and culture. So how do you ensure the accuracy of translation?
So one of the things that makes our translations so effective is that we don't just translate words. We actually use the faces, the voices, and even the genders of the people talking into our translation products. A lot of that was pioneered by our engineers, as well as Emma, who does speak Mandarin fluently, to make sure that the translations do come across. Now, no AI system is going to be 100% perfect, but our translation is miles ahead of other people in the industry, specifically because it is multimedia translation and not just these individual word-based translations like Google Translate.
Great. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right, Daniil, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, a quick one. I didn't get anything about your competition. If you can elaborate on that. And what are the risks for you in the industry you're seeing? So you're like tackling the new technology, and what if this technology find ways to actually prevent what you do? So how you can address that competition and how
Sure.
future risks?
So on the competition side, there are about 5 other startups trying to do detection work. I mentioned that a little bit up here. These are the 2 other best ones that have achieved other accuracies reasonably above 50%. And as you can see, our accuracies blow them out of the water, specifically because we pioneer both generation and detection. All of these other data sets are using publicly available data they scrape online. And in order to detect deepfakes, you need millions of samples. Our data set specifically has 50 million samples of fake faces and voices. And we use that data to really push the envelope in detection solutions. In terms of the biggest risk, it is a constant cat and mouse game to stay on the forefront of detection. And so that's why generation is still important for us. As we continue to push forward in the synthetic media landscape, being on the forefront of generation in a generative product where we integrate all of the best deepfake faces and voices for this ethical synthetic media dubbing product allows us to stay on the cutting edge of detection as well.
Thank you. Alexandra, please go ahead with your question.
Hello. And Joe, I like your startup, and we talked already, and just a bit more. But can you explain me once more about your multiple? So as I understand, your multiple today is like 60. I mean, multiple to revenue. Yeah. And maybe to explain why you believe that this is a good valuation. And,
of course. So our current revenue to date for this year is 1.5 million. The majority of that does come from a government contract, although we're currently in paid pilots with the 3rd biggest tech company in the world, as well as a few other major news organizations and Hollywood media companies. And so we're currently, our valuation is at a 40x multiple of that number, which we think is a reasonable multiple for the synthetic media generative AI space. I mean, a lot of companies are raising at between a 50 to 100 multiple. And so given where we're at in this bridge round, we think a 40x multiple is reasonable for the investors we're talking to. Our plans to scale revenue include going to 3 to 5 million by end of this year and up to 10 to 15 million by the end of next year, at which case we'll probably be raising a Series A at a much larger valuation.
Thank you. And
Thank you, Richard.
we have some time for the last question from Ross. Ross, please go ahead.
So you're looking at a 40x valuation on a pre-seed round. Have you ever raised a round before at all?
Yes.
For anything or otherwise? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. We actually are considering this our pre-A round. We have raised an angel, pre-seed, and seed round. To date, we've raised about $6 million.
Has your valuation been an implied valuation or actual third-party audit?
Well, it is. We've raised on safe notes, right? Our valuation, valuing early stage startups is often difficult. Previously, our valuation was based on potential. Moving forward, our valuation is based on our revenue multiples as well as our IP catalog.
So, okay, so you're banking a lot on your IP and your team, but you recognize in the overall economic environment that down rounds are significantly increasing now. And if you're in safe notes, the fully diluted capitalization with new investors could put you in a bad situation with a lower or a down round. Have you made conditions to contingencies to hedge against that?
Yeah, so we have not yet raised it a down round, and at the valuation we're moving forward, it is not a down round. The last time we raised was about 12 months ago, so our valuation is a significant increase from that.
No, I recognize that, but so you'll get that this time. But then as the economy is going, the trends, we are probably sure we're going to be a flatter down round, especially in AI because it's a flooded market. But do you have any contingencies?
Yeah, so definitely. We definitely have contingencies for that. We have a significant amount of equity still in the founder's hands. If we need to raise a down round, we will be okay, although I do not expect that to be the case. We currently have 18 months of runway. As we close this bridge round, we're going to have more than 24 months. I think that we can afford to wait until the macroeconomic environment is more favorable if needed, in which case we do consider our next round to open at a 120 to 150 million valuation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. That's about what we have time for today. And let's go to our next startup, Soap Health, based in USA, Florida, from biotech and neuroscience battle. I don't think we can see a presentation just yet. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm gonna start the timer. You have 3 minutes and counting. Please go ahead.
Imagine the perfect doctor, always accessible, infinitely patient, knows everything. Well, stop imagining because that person doesn't exist. Because if he or she did, my brother and my wife's best friend, both physicians, might still be alive today. But they're not because overworked and time-constrained doctors missed their diseases when they were still treatable. My name is Dr. Stephen Charlat, and I founded Soap Health to solve this global problem that the National Academy of Medicine now predicts will affect everybody on the planet. The first thing we built is the perfect medical interviewer, the world's first 100% voice and image-based AI-powered medical avatar interviewer. You can collect data at home, in the office, or both. It is proven to collect more accurate, truthful, and detailed data than any form and than most doctors. We run that data next through the world's first combined risk and symptom assessment, because malpractice studies show that identifying risks improves lowering the misdiagnosis rate. And by capturing medical complexity, we actually increase revenue for doctors. And finally, we delivered the Smart Soap Note, Subjective Objective Assessment Plan, an easier to read format that has been proven to reduce by 2 hours a day a doctor's workload, and also by a partnership, the ability to voice command our note into any electronic health record, even if not integrated. Our IP includes a patent issued on the use of a digital human as a medical interviewer, a patent pending on combining risk and symptom assessment, multiple trade secrets, and 100,000 proprietary NOU database. Virtually anything a patient could say to a doctor, we've captured in our database. We've done 3 clinical studies, one published by Stanford Applied AI Research Group, where the headline was 80% of patients thought an application like ours would improve the care delivered by their doctors. Another study done in rural Alabama, where in 100% of patients, we caught information missed by the doctor. In 67%, 2 out of 3 patients, we caught risk factors missed by the doctor, and we increased revenue by 17%. Because we built this product for everybody, we also studied it in inner city Miami with predominantly Black and Hispanic patients, with a 95% completion rate, a 90% patient satisfaction, and a 66% reduction in intake and documentation by the doctors. The market, $750 billion is spent every year on misdiagnosis in the US alone. We estimate, based on 1.35 physicians and nurse practitioners, a 6.7 billion market, and we believe a 280 million ARR is achievable. One, because there is a competitor that's already achieved that with clearly not an AI-powered product, and we have a pipeline of 250,000 Athena Health and Dolby physician customers with whom we have both integrated already. Competitively, there are many patient intake products, but none with the extent of branching logic, AI voice and image-based risk and symptom assessment, key date summary, and voice command. We have partnered already with some of the top players in the United States, including the Mayo Clinic, the University of Miami, relationships with Adobe, FMA, UCSG, Ivy Creek, and we are also in the UK right now in heavy discussions with some major GP groups. For traction, we've raised $3 million, Tucson revenue agreements. We got a number of grants outstanding. And finally, we have a leadership team with 2 successful health exits, 100 years of combined experience, a new CFO and COO adding 25 additional years. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen, very much. Let's open the floor up to questions. Kelly, please go ahead with a question.
Thank you, Victoria. Hi, Stephen. Nice presentation. So how do you ensure the accuracy and reliability of your system?
So the risk assessments are based on 15 sets of medical association evidence-based guidelines. There's no AI involved with that. The AI is on the conversation and generative AI side that collects the data, and we reflect answers back to users. We also surround the digital human with intuitive imagery that improves literacy and understanding of what's being asked. Differential diagnosis is also not AI, but it uses NLU, so it can recognize any type of symptom. And it has been proven to be 98% accurate to 10 diagnoses, 99+% to 14 diagnoses.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Ross, please go ahead with your question.
Since you're in Miami, I have a soft spot for that. But are you saying that you're going to give a diagnosis through an AI rendition of what a visit to a doctor would be like?
We are not saying that at this point. What we are saying is the 2 major causes of misdiagnosis is not identifying risks and not considering a full list of possible differential diagnoses. We provide those 2 to the physician, a full comprehensive risk, almost 400 algorithms based on multiple risk factors from hereditary to lifestyle to social determinants, and then a differential score diagnosis with ICD-10 codes attached to it. It is then up to the doctor to make the determination. But we believe that as we collect more data, we will be able to mine that data and apply machine learning to identify insights that heretofore are unknown. But currently, we are not predicting. We are merely reporting on symptomatology and risks as they relate to diagnosis.
Have you considered the possibility that someone might take that as a medical diagnosis and make a decision based on that? And then if they get hurt, everyone's liable?
Well, considering that right now the rate of errors is so high that it's predicted that everyone will experience an error, that for every 100 doctors, there are 97 lawsuits, that according to the American Medical Association, 65% of doctors are sued by age 55. We've already demonstrated that we do a more accurate intake. We do
Ben boşaltırım birazdan.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, I missed, you demonstrated what?
Somebody cut me off. I said we've already demonstrated that in 100% of patients, we collect data that's been missed. In 67% of patients, we collect risks that have been missed. In 44%, we collect more actionable data that changes diagnosis and referrals and treatment. We have a case study, for example, of an 18-year-old Hispanic woman who came into the clinic complaining about a headache, failed to disclose that she had been sexually abused. Without that information, the doctor was going to send it to a neurologist. Instead, he sent it to a mental health counselor because all her symptoms could be explained by the sexual abuse. And also, we flagged that she was at increased risk for an endocrine disorder, both type 2 diabetes and polycystic ovarian syndrome, neither of which he even considered before referring her for the neurology. So we've demonstrated that this is superior to most doctors. Can lazy doctors inappropriately use this? Yes, but remember, we're not giving them the absolute diagnosis. We're giving them an extended list to make them think of other diagnoses that may not immediately come to mind. Because in medical school, you're taught when you hear hoofbeat, think of horses, not zebras, but it's the zebras that kill you, not the horses. So we are simply trying to make doctors better doctors by giving them extra powers supplied by AI.
No, okay, I'm just gonna be quick on this because we're running out of time. So are you running that app out of the company you're raising money for, or are you running that app out of a subsidiary that is isolated from liability?
Well, right now we're running the app out of the primary company. We do have a subsidiary in the UK, that's registered there. But right now we're running it out of the primary company. Remember,
Just a word of advice on that, because I want you to succeed. You probably want to move that out, because right now everything that happens is liable to the main company. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I appreciate the advice.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Let's move on to our next competitor, Aksern from Silicon Valley Unicorn Battle, represented by Kumesh. You have 3 minutes and counting.
Awesome, thank you. Hey guys, I'm Kumesh Sharmagan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Aksern. So I've been doing the company for about 7 years. We're pretty much one of the first in the generative AI space. Essentially, we're the leading no-code NLP platform for financial services. And I'll tell you a little about NLP and what specifically we do. So when it comes to NLP, we can take a lot of your content and start transforming it into enterprise solutions. So we've been doing classification for a long time. So this means that if you push in, let's say, a piece of content or a document, we can analyze and identify what are all the companies being mentioned within that document, what are all the financial events. We can also score that document based on sentiment, essentially letting you know, is this document or news article very positive or negative towards this company or this person that's being mentioned. Now, thanks to a lot, and we trained this model on Google BERT and we tweaked it for financial services. Now, because of a lot of large language model that's coming out, we're actually incorporating a lot of that within our no-code platform, and it allows us to basically summarize documents very quickly. It also allows you as a customer to basically ask questions and get back answers from a lot of documents. And then we can also extract information from your content as well, instead of you manually copying and pasting information from one doc to the next. We spent about $40 million in 7 years to really build out the best NLP platform out there possible. So simply, for a user, you can simply connect any type of content that you have. So we have a lot of data lake connectors like Snowflake, MongoDB, AWS, and so forth that we can bring in the content into our platform. And then you can select any type of NLP models that you care about to classify, summarize, or extract key information from your document. And then you can push it out into any workflows. So if you're a business analyst using a Tableau dashboard, you can now visualize all your content. If you're a machine learning engineer working in a data robot platform, you can now build machine learning models using content itself. And we've been accelerating digital transformation for over 20 plus enterprise customers right now. We work with some of the largest global banks. Standard Bank, for example, is using our platform to basically convert review data into sentiment scores to figure out, are people saying good things about these small businesses or not? And they're using those scores to help underwrite small business loans to small businesses. And then we have Mizuho Bank and William Blair that basically plugged in a lot of their news application that they have made subscriptions to. And they use our platform to consolidate all those 7, 8 different data feeds that are using. We basically summarize all those content, we classify it, and we push it back into a single Power BI dashboard where all their analysts can now see everything on a single dashboard versus logging into 7 different platforms. So it just makes people efficient at the end of the day. And customers have built over 2,000 NLP apps already within our platform, and it's growing extensively. We're the top no-code NLP platform for financial services right now. We got recognized by a lot of awards like Forbes 30 under 30 and so forth. And these are some of our financial service customers. And then we are a team of 35 data scientists globally, headquartered in New York City. We're backed by 40 million in venture capital funding from Allianz Ventures, Tribe Capital, Shasta Ventures, Fusion Fund, Mighty Capital, and so forth. And we're on track to hitting 7 million in ARR this year with about 46 enterprise customer, about to break even very soon. And we have a lot of channels as well that's helping us generate about 70% of our revenues, which are the consulting firms.
Thank you, Kumesh. I suggest that you leave leave the presentation on the slide of your choosing, and I'm going to open the floor for judges' questions.
Perfect.
All right. While the judges are thinking, Kumesh, is there anything else that you'd like? Oh, actually, I see. Gabriel, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, thank you, Victoria. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you quickly on your platform, what would be the key the key factor that really puts you in a different way, among competitors, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, there's two. One is we pre-train a lot of our NLP models for financial services. So on day one, you're getting a very high accuracy when you build out use cases. And then two, we're a no-code UI. So a lot of enterprise now can have their less technical users build out use case on the fly without wasting their technical resources.
Got it. Okay, thank you so much. Good luck.
Alexander, please go ahead with your question.
Kumesh, can you elaborate more on your traction?
Yeah, so we have some really good traction. We've been growing about 3x in the last 2 years, on track to 7 million in ARR this year. And some of our biggest traction point has been working with a lot of large consulting firms. So we're partners with Capgemini, McKinsey, EY, and so forth. And they've really trained dozens of the financial service consultants to build out use cases on our platform. And we're expecting the channels, which are the consulting firms, to generate about 70% of our revenues this year. And on top of that, we're also getting a lot of acquisition offers from some of the best tech companies out there because they saw what we have built. They're looking to basically plug in their own large language models into our platform to monetize it. And we have one of the best no-code UI available on the market with a lot of connectors and plugins. So we're getting a lot of offers as well in the recent weeks.
Ross, please go ahead with your question.
Congratulations on $40 million. So do I understand that you've raised 40 million and have not broken even yet?
Yep, correct.
So you're describing 3x growth as growth going out of your debt?
So that's essentially ARR. So we should break even within about 6 weeks to 8 weeks or so.
So if you're going to break even that soon and you have these backers, why wouldn't you just focus on getting more revenues and proving that before you raise more money?
Yeah, we're not currently raising a equity financing round, so we're going to be doing a potentially Series C sometime end of the year or so.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not really clear about your model. How much of your revenue is recurring out of the total revenue that you're stating?
100%. So the pricing model is consumption-based model with an annual subscription. So essentially, an enterprise would subscribe to our platform. They would get X number of units, which is basically number of documents you can process. So the more documents you process, the more we're going to charge you at the end of the day, and the more use case you build, your pricing increases. So if someone is processing, let's say, 10 million documents a year, we would charge them about $150,000, and we can easily increase in terms of upsell based on number of documents and use cases.
Okay, so how do you face the headwind from generative AI? Because you've been in business for about 9 years so far, right?
Yep. So, I mean, the great thing with our platform is that we build it in such a way that we can plug in a lot of large language models. So we're actually complementary with anyone building really good large language models that's out there, whether it's for summarization, classification, extraction, and so forth. So a lot of our customers also spend years building out their own NLP models or large language models. And they're able to plug that in within our platform and allow less technical user within the organization to use those models to build out use cases on the fly.
Okay, thank you.
I'm afraid that's about what we have time for, but Kay, I would encourage you to write your question to Kumesh in the chat or in the Q&A, because I think he'd love to see it. And thank you, Kumesh. We're going to move to our next participant from Germany. Deep Eye Medical GmbH, coming to us from AI, software, and AR, VR unicorn battle. All right. I think you're muted. Oh, we can hear you now. Okay, you have 3 minutes and counting. Please go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay, sorry. Hello, Manuel here from Germany, Munich. We are Deep Eye Medical, and we prevent blindness by improving retinal therapy using AI, like for a lot of others here today. So Deep Eye is a spin-out from Germany's leading private eye center. And my CTO and myself, we have launched 7 different product families in 7 different health tech startups before. We are also advised by KOLs from basically the directors from 2 largest eye clinics in Europe. What are we doing? Which problem are we solving? So there are around 100 million people worldwide who suffer from late-stage vision-threatening retinal diseases. So if you don't treat it, you go blind. And I have 3 cases of this in my family, actually. So I'm very likely to also suffer from this when I grow older. Since 15 years, there's a drug to stop people actually from going blind. But due to aging societies and other factors like diabetes, it has become already the 5th most costly drug therapy worldwide. Every year in the United States, there are 8 million eye injections given. And this is the single most costly drug in the Medicare budget. It's 12% of the Medicare Part B budget. So this therapy is currently dished out on a one-size-fits-all basis. So basically everyone is treated in the beginning the same, and then they try to titrate which patients need what. And this creates an enormous burden for patients and doctors alike. Like our doctors, they do 14,000 injections per year, and it's very difficult for them to really keep straight which patients need what. This is why many patients do not get the results they want, and then they drop out of therapy. Our doctors have found now a way to actually overcome this problem and achieve 3 times better outcomes and 2 times higher therapy adherence, meaning patients staying in therapy over 24 months. And they didn't do it just for 100 patients or for 1,000 patients. They did it for 2,500 patients over 2 years. Now, the question is, how do we scale this globally? And this is where our solution comes into place. So what we're seeing here in this video, let me see if I can start it, is a classic imaging software from one of the 3 main providers. And our AI runs in the background of all these softwares. We are integrated into 2 out of the 3 major softwares, and we're working on the number 3 as well, should be ready by end of this year. And what the doctors get is basically an AI prediction of how this patient will react to treatment. So it's not just, making sure they're giving an injection now, but they even can make predictions for a year. And we have recently developed an algorithm which can do it for up to 2 years. How many injections do you need? When do you need them? Like in which intervals? And we can even now run different algorithms because there are coming new drugs to the market, just recently introduced to the US market. So we can even differentiate between drug types. And this information then provides, of course, a lot of insights to the doctors to make sure they provide the best care possible for each and individual patient instead of just doing one size fits all. They can also check, of course, further information. Our USP on this side is really our longitudinal database, which is impossible to copy, which consists of more than 750,000 OCT scans for more than 60 eye clinics, which are partnering with us. And we have them all in our database hooked up. So what is our traction? After 10 years of research, we found a deal by end of 2021. Our preclinical product is used already by pharma companies and paid for as by all the top pharma companies. And we right now, as we demonstrated, integrate into those imaging systems so that next year we can launch this product also for doctors. And then we have a vicious circle with the 2 sides feeding into each other.
Okay.
So happy to talk more about the financing needs if you're interested.
Michael, thank you very much. I'm going to open the floor to questions. Kelly, please go ahead.
Thank you, Victoria. Michael, nice presentation. So we know that the etiology of retinal disease is complex. So how do you achieve the accuracy and the effectiveness of your software?
Mm-hmm. So we are starting with one disease, the most prevalent one, which is responsible for 50% of cases of blindness in the US, which is neovascular age-related macular degeneration. However, in our data set, we also have the data on retinal vein occlusion, diabetic macular edema, geographic atrophy, so for all kinds of vision-threatening retinal diseases. And we work together with our co-founders, but also with a network of other medical professionals, like our clinical advisory board, that they make sure that for each and every new use case that we are tackling, we make sure that those predictions are really above the current standard of care and in line also with the guidelines of the respective countries.
Okay, great. Good luck.
Okay. Leon, please go ahead.
Yeah, very nice presentation. Thank you. Let me understand better.
So it looks like it's some add-in to currently available software platforms that generate some report and prediction, and it doesn't it is not standalone algorithm program, right?
Yes, exactly. It's basically a plugin to different software platforms. It doesn't require even a download. It comes basically integrated with those software.
Okay, very interesting. So did you have any conversation with your clients about exit?
With our clients
Exit
about the
opportunity, exit opportunity to such usually big platforms. They're looking for some add-ins.
Of course, and they
buy.
Yeah. All three companies we work with on integrations, they all offer to invest. We turned it down because we want to work, let's say, vendor neutral right now. The same applies to the pharma customers, as you have seen. They also offer to invest. The same again, if we, there might be problems if we kind of, make better predictions for one drug than for another one. So we also turned them down. Right now, we actually raise a round from institutional financial investors that has also offered to invest. We already got enough capital committed, but we have actually recently raised the cap on our round, which was 2 million. We raised it to $2.5 million because we have seen there's so much interest. And if we get more money, we could already, in parallel, not just work on the European application, but also on the US application. There's a very strong interest there. We just were there. We won at the main conference, we won their iPitch award. So there's a huge interest from the US, and we really want to maybe bring it in parallel to both markets. And that's why we want to extend the round for another 500K.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Ross, please go ahead with your question.
2 questions, maybe 3, depending on the answer for the first 2. One, where are you incorporated?
Excuse me?
Where are you incorporated?
We are incorporated in Germany and Munich, and we plan to open a subsidiary if we can extend the round, not in 2 years, but maybe next year already in the US.
In the US. And your IP, what about your IP makes it more unique or stand apart from an IP of similar platforms?
Yeah, so there is no comparable data set. So the largest eye clinic in the world is based in London. And so our data set is already much bigger in terms of longitudinality. So we have data from over 10 years from patient, and there is no comparable data set out there where they have such longitudinal data. You need this for therapy. If you're speaking about diagnostic screenings, there are great data sets out there, but there is not for longitudinal data. So we work especially with small residents where the patients don't move around and they stick in therapy for a very, very long time. So this is pretty unique about what we have. Right now, this IP is fully in Germany. We even have some data sets coming from Japan, for instance, now. It's also only in Germany. And this is why also we will need 2 entities, because now we are collaborating with some East Coast university clinics from the US, and their data needs to stay in the US.
Got it, thank you. Same question as before. You're running this app out of a main company raising money or out of another company? Same question as before, because same issues arising.
Yeah, so we have, as I said, we will have then 2 entities, but right now we are doing this because it's a regulated device, class 2A, we have it in our own company. And for the US, however, that's why we'll have their subsidiary to also run it there in the subsidiary. So,
Thank you very much, Michael. That was a very thorough answer. Next, we're going to have Authority from Ecuador, coming to us from FinTech, Crypto, and Blockchain, Unicorn Battle. All right.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can. Okay, that's amazing. And you have 3 minutes and counting.
Great, thank you. So a few months ago, I found a digital speeding ticket in my email spam folder. Living in Ecuador, I was surprised by 2 things. First, that I really received a notification. And second, that it already had accumulated interest on it. So I tried to pay it in the institution website, but it wasn't working. So I had to go in person to the institution, made a 40-minute line, tried to pay it with a credit card. They wouldn't accept it. So I had to go to the ATM, take out cash, go back, make the 40-minute line, and pay my $120 speeding ticket. And that's when we realized that vehicle administration and the payments, sorry, it's not skipping. Oh, there we go. And that's when we realized that vehicle administration and its payments are a mess. Vehicle owners are lonely, lost, and overwhelmed. And this is because payments are independent and decentralized. All the information channels are broken. Individual apps usually don't work. And the worst, credit cards are vaguely accepted in this space. And this market is not small. On average, a vehicle owner will process over 100 transactions per year worth $8,500. So how do we do it? Our super app is free to install and register. We just need the vehicle license plate number and we become centralization ninjas. We connect and capture data through established and open APIs and scrapping. We process payments and we settle them through official collection agencies. Everything is done in seconds and in real time. But the best about this is that we keep our customers informed and engaged forever, something that nobody else does. We bring convenience and simplicity into our users' hands. Users in our app are able to stay alerted, control, and pay for services around their vehicle like traffic tickets, driver license, taxes, insurance, toll roads, parking, and gas. We're behind a $1.7 trillion annual market that hosts 200 million vehicles in Latin America. And yes, this does not include buying or selling cars. It's just around the services that owners need to pay. We make around $100 of revenue per customer per year derived from three sources: transactions, advertising, and customers hosting their customers in our app. We're a B2C company, but we acquire users through partnerships. For example, Zurich will now onboard 65,000 users to our app that will bring $4 million in revenue and $40 million in GMV to us. And we have even managed to place Authority as a payment alternative in the actual traffic ticket itself. Since our launch a few months ago, we've processed over 30,000 transactions, collected over $1 million in GMV, and generated over $150,000 in revenue. We've built an outstanding team. 1 second. This is not passing, sorry. We've built an outstanding team. Diego, Guillermo, and I are second-time founders with a very strong focus on technology and vehicles and finance. Our team comes from unicorns like Tool, OLX, and Cabify, and General Motors. And lastly, we're backed by Techstars, Tel Aviv, and so far we've raised $1.4 billion. Sorry, my presentation is not skipping. We compete against many players here, banks, retail stores, and even the same institutions behind the services. But all of them do it either offline or decentralized. We at Authority, we know we make it better and simple, everything in one place and in seconds. So join us in connecting, centralizing, and making every vehicle owner's life easy.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. I'm going to open the floor to questions. Alexander, please go ahead with your question.
Hello, thank you for presentation. In how many countries do you have customers today?
So we started a few months ago, exactly 12 months ago in Ecuador, where we're based at, and we're starting our expansion today. Our next country will be Mexico, which is Latin America's biggest Spanish-speaking market.
Okay, and what is your growth rate, month by month, or can you just show anything?
Yeah, so we grow on average. We've been growing on average 40% month over month on transactionability, which is our main KPI as we measure our growth.
Okay, and have you raised already any money?
Yes, we've raised a pre-seed series of $1.4 million.
Was it were that angels or some VCs were in the round?
Yeah, we have some strong angels. We also have Techstars as an investor. We have some corporate investors, especially from Israel, where we have close connections there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Ross, please go ahead.
When you're looking to exit, are you looking IPO or to be a private acquisition by another company, or are you thinking you're going to start merging and buying other companies?
I mean, as founders, we're definitely looking for an IPO. I think the market is so huge, and we have the drive as founders. We definitely know we can take this company huge and worldwide. So that's our main goal. And eventually, we as for now, we've even had offers to buy us out, but we know we're on the right track to go and ring the bell, definitely.
But you have offers, but you're declining because what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Because we believe we're just getting started right now, and our traction has been very good just from starting now. I think we can continue to grow and make our company still more valuable in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Debashish, please go ahead. You're muted, I think.
So, hi, Ivan. I was on mute. So, good presentation and a good problem to solve. Two questions. One is, I do see your solution tilting or heavily bent towards fintech because we are talking about payments across multiple channels. You're also talking about your vehicle health. Is there a retrofit on that? Are you planning a retrofit, or is there a retrofit on already existing vehicles? How does that work?
I didn't get your question. You said vehicle health.
Yeah, so you're talking about vehicle analytics, right? I did see a couple of slides. So how are you capturing those vehicle analytics? Is it a retrofit in the vehicle, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we're not doing anything regarding to tracking right now. Basically, the data that we own is just on the owner's behavior, like how many traffic tickets he had. You know, if he is a responsible driver, if he pays his taxes online. In many countries in Latin America, you need to have a technical verification of your car. So we access that data as well, and we know the status in the car of how many, for example, kilometers it has driven, how the tires. So for now, we don't have a let's call an IoT device that's connected to our app, but in the future, we'll definitely see it as another product that might be suitable for our super app model.
Sure, thank you. And all the best.
Thank you.
All right. Kate, please go ahead with a question.
Yeah, quick question. So the data you just mentioned on the behavior of the drivers, is that something that you also plan or already talking to insurance companies about so they can, you know, work with that data? I think that might be interesting. Here in the KSA, it's actually all connected already. The official government app tells me right away when I get a traffic ticket, and it also pops up in my bank account, in my banking app. That might be something that could be interesting for you guys to connect the dots there. Makes it very simple.
Yeah, great. So yeah, I'll answer the two questions. We are working on insurance. I think it's honestly our biggest line of revenue. We closed a regional partnership with Zurich right now, where Zurich we have two projects with them. They're onboarding all of their current customers because they have failed to build their own app. Their own app doesn't have the recurrence it needs for it to survive, right? So they're onboarding their users to our app. We're giving them an embedded insurance solution inside Authority. And of course, as of the data, we own a lot of data that insurance company today doesn't use to create certain products. So in the future, we do plan to create certain products with the company. All right. And as of the second question, as I said, yeah, remember Latin America, I think we believe 10 or 15 years behind, and there's non-centralization between banks and the public institutions here as of this information. We're actually the first ones doing this. So yeah, I mean, definitely, I think in the future, collaborating with banks and of course with the institution itself will just help them collect funds faster, which is basically their main objective at the end, right?
Cool, thanks, good luck.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's go to our next contestant, Medixane from Spain, coming to us from Biotech and Neuroscience, Unicorn Battle.
Hello. Share my screen.
Hi.
All right.
And you have 3 minutes and counting.
Perfect. Hello, I am Eduardo Jorgensen. I'm a medical doctor and CEO at Medixen, where we have developed a needle-free smart patch for painless drug delivery. Because we founded the company because needles are a big pain for patients and for the world. There are 16 billion needles as biohazard environmental waste every year, costing 3 billion euros in accidental injuries in Europe alone. And I met a young girl with diabetes a few years ago in the hospital consult who refused to keep injecting insulin 3 times per day because it meant more than 1,000 injections every year. So we invented a small piece of technology that can create safe ultrasound waves to enlarge the natural pores in the skin temporarily and push big drugs to go through. And we built into a wearable smart patch completely free of needles, which can work with multiple drugs like heparin, interferon, or even antibodies. It has a durable component with the electronics to last for 3 years. And all that patients need to do is inserting a recyclable cartridge that lasts for 3 days, placing the device on the body, and activating it with the app or the buttons for a safe and painless delivery, which is better than current needle alternatives because jet injectors are bulky. Microneedles are disconnected, and implants aren't safe for drugs like insulin. So despite of the fierce competition in a 25 billion euro market, these companies are failing to address the main user needs around comfort. Our ultrasound smart patch enables the needle-free delivery for large drugs, adding value because it is painless, wearable, and connected for telemonitoring, friendlier for the environment and sterile for caregiver safety, and adaptable to multiple drugs to ease the pharma's R&D process. So far, we have raised 3 million euros and we have a granted patent and a working prototype validated with positive results on in vivo pig trials. And we have secured patients associations endorsing our value, pharma companies like Merck supporting us, and the CEO of the European Insulin Pharma Bioton signed a letter confirming their efforts to partner with us. We have a team with 16 professionals, including the founders who created previous medical devices that achieved sales, engineers coming from MIT, and a medical team that grew up in Philips and Roche, and strong advisors as the CEO of Sandoz Spain. And we envision a highly scalable B2B model by licensing the device for different drugs. We could license to Pfizer for antibodies, to Synthetica or Sanofi for heparin, and to Lilly or Bioton for insulin. Our benchmark shows that each license could easily reach 50,000 users in 5 years and bring around 100 million euros in that period. We're just completing miniaturization with animal trial results, and we have obtained an EIC grant of 2.5 million euros to conduct human trials next year, which is half of the money that we need to meet our goal of reaching the market of insulin in 2025. So we hope that you join our mission of releasing the world from 30 million injections by 2028, because we need the support of strong stakeholders to get to a needle-free future. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Kelly, please go ahead with your question.
Thank you, Victoria. Hi, Eduardo. Nice presentation. So are there any limitations on the size and type of molecules that can be delivered through the skin using ultrasound waves?
Yeah, so most of the substances that have been delivered with sonophoresis ultrasounds have been up to 70 kilodaltons, but we have recently found a paper in which they were able to apply tetanus toxin, which is 150 kilodaltons. So we believe that even antibodies will be able to cross the barrier. And then we might have some limitations on the viscosity, but it has been validated up to 7 CPs as well, which is highly viscous.
Okay, great. Good luck.
All right, Leon, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I really appreciate your presentation. It's the second time I just listened to such a revolutionary technology. And so my question about efficiency. Do you have any comparison on efficiency with conventional needle-based delivery of drugs? And yes, you have, right? So who win?
So we have conducted an in vivo pig trial with 15 pigs in which we compared 3 different types of things that we did on the pigs. On the first one, we applied insulin on top of the skin without doing anything. That one wasn't absorbed, obviously. Second group, we injected with a needle, and third group, we applied ultrasounds for the insulin. And both second and third group have differences with the first one. And the glucose reduction and the insulin levels on the pig were comparable between the needle and the ultrasound groups. So the efficiency is virtually 100%. You cannot see differences in the blood glucose levels.
Okay, very good. And second question about user experience, because today, insulin delivery devices, they are very, very, very small, and your device looks somehow bulky. So what is your user experience? Do you have any results?
So our device is as small as the smallest device for delivering insulin in the market. Perhaps the one you're mentioning, that rounded one, that is for measuring glucose, not delivering insulin. It's a sensor, it's a much simpler device. But every device that is on the market for delivering insulin, the smallest one is 5 centimeters times 3 centimeters, which is the Omnipod. So what we have done is inspiring our design for the external case of the device on what they have already been validated on the market.
Okay, thank you.
Ross, please go ahead.
I feel like I keep coming up. Same question as I've asked before, especially when you're impacting people's health and bodies. Congratulations, good presentation, good communication of information. Thank you. But same issue. Are you raising money in the same company that you are delivering this product from, or have you separated the companies? Because if you don't do that, and for everyone who's pitching, if you don't do that, if something goes wrong, you've lost your company and your investors have lost a lot of money. Have you separated that from the main company?
So we have an international structure that has been built in order both to account on what you said and also for financial purposes. So our parent company is in the United Kingdom, and we operate from a Spanish subsidiary on 100% level. And then we also have some subsidiaries in Australia and Poland because we get money from them.
So yes, thank you very much.
Savas, let's go ahead.
Hi, Eduardo. This is a breakthrough product. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think it's going to be effective to cure so many people waiting this kind of products. However, so far, does there any lawsuit against your company from any people you try this one, or this kind of like what's the effectiveness on 100 patients, let's say?
So we haven't reached the state of testing it with patients. That's what we're raising the money for, to conduct human trials next year. Up until now, there have been sonophoresis devices tested on humans. I'm not aware of any lawsuit from patients to these companies. And the main concept that we keep in mind is the amount of energy that we transfer to the skin per unit of time, because that is what conditions where the skin is safe or not. And we're always keeping below the safety threshold settled by the FDA. And on top of that, any potential damage that we can cause, which is only slight redness that tends to disappear, everything is going to be less than breaking the skin with a needle.
Very good. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And let's our last contestant, Natty Worth from USA, New Jersey, coming to us from FinTech, Crypto, and Blockchain Unicorn Battle.
Yeah, hi. My name is July. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nettyworth. Nettyworth is a Web3 platform that allows users to manage and borrow against their digital assets. Why I created Nettyworth: as an early adopter and collector, investing hundreds of thousands of dollars into the space, I found it very challenging to calculate the total value of my assets. I also found the UX and UI very poor, with poor lending options, which is the reason why I decided to create Nettyworth. So the problem with Web3 is that 99% of users find it difficult to track their crypto and NFT value, their total value. Users are also overwhelmed and need to visit multiple platforms. And these collectors and users that have billions of dollars of asset lack liquidity. The solution: imagine a simple dashboard that calculates this value for them, a platform that aggregates these tools and provides access to liquidity. So this is what we built. We built 3 versions of this platform. We bootstrapped for the last 2 years, self-funded for over $250,000 between the co-founders. And we created the best NFT portfolio tracker that calculates your value in seconds, a mobile and desktop ready platform with live news and data. We also plan to release our NFT loan marketplace by Q4 of this year. And what's our traction? We have over 3,500 users spending over 3 minutes on the platform, with 95% of them giving the platform a thumbs up and loving it. 40% of these users are returning users. We also have a social media presence with over 28,000 social media followers and nearly 100,000 views on YouTube. We've even generated over $40,000 from Web3 brands paying us just to be on our platform. And what's the testimonials? What are users saying about Nettyworth? The tool is amazing. It's impressive. I can't wait to share with friends. I wish my value was higher, but I felt super safe using it. I like the platform and could be a good tool for the future. And this is the team. Both co-founders are 2-time founders. My CTO is the former DevOps at BASF, the largest chemical company in the world. He was actually the same CTO that I built my first startup in 2008. Sebastian, our stellar designer, and we have an advisor, a legal advisor, Pablo, and Juan, who's a YC alumni who just had an exit with MasterCard a few years ago. So what's the market that we're going after? Again, the NFT lending market with these economic times just hit $1 billion. It's one of the fastest growing segments in fintech inside of Web3, and it's expected to 3x over the next few years. We expect to hit nearly $500 million in revenue by 2028. So our business model, we look at an asset, we provide a loan to value percentage on that asset, and then make money by lending on it. Now, this is all happening on a smart contract and on the blockchain. Again, the average default is 9.26% in this market, and we're still able to capture a 250% return. Our competition, Arcade, MetaLink, NFT5, Floaty, all of our competitors have raised, we've bootstrapped, but why do we have more users than them? Why? Think of Credit Karma, think of Mint. We provided free financial solutions to users. They come to the platform, we gather the data, such as their crypto value, NFT value, and then we're able to either connect borrowers and lenders or provide a direct loan. And why now? The United States adoption is 3%, imagine when it's 10. It's already a $41 billion market here. And again, we believe what BlackRock and Goldman Sachs is saying, that NFTs are a financial instrument to the future.
Mm-hmm. Thank you
And
very much.
we ask you to join our investment partners such as Republic and Acacia that have recently joined the company.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Amazing. Alexandra, please go ahead with your question.
Hello, thank you for your presentation. Interesting product. Can you tell me about the size of the market today? And I mean, the capitalization of NFT market. I just did not find information about the capitalization and how it's changing now. So
yeah. So if you look at the art world, which is again one of the largest markets, the traditional art world is around $43-45 billion. Last year, the NFT market hit 41 billion, again growing at about 27%, which is also matching the lending side of the business.
So it's 41 billion now and it's growing.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ross, please go ahead.
So you're providing access to NFTs as a security. So you measure the net worth and then you would transact NFTs. How are you navigating the SEC on transactions and securities laws?
Yeah, so it's happening on DeFi. So think of it like it's basically, again, just being lent out through a smart contract and the blockchain. From the reason that the space has already hit $1 billion is because what happens is with the SEC is that if you fractionalize an NFT, then you're getting into an asset class section, and that's the problem. So we're staying away from fractionalizing it. So we're not part of that. But what we're doing is we will lend on the DeFi market against that asset, and that asset is held on collateral in the smart contract.
Are you tied into FinCEN? Have you gotten through them to get this model approved?
This model is already in public.
Have you gotten approved through FinCEN?
Not with us, but the business models already, like United States companies and all that have gone. For instance, NFT5.
I would urge you, because I would just succeed, I would urge you to visit with your counsel to see your property navigating these financial security, because you have to have FinCEN integration in what you're doing. And if you're transacting as a security, SEC has decreased their no action letters. That means that they are being more aggressive NFT transactions, especially in the US. So I would urge you to go back to your counsel and work through these details and how you can properly set that up without falling afoul.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And just to point out, NFT5 recently just hit 400 million in revenue.
So, but SPAC also hit billion revenue too, but they're also out of business. So we can't measure that as a gauge. But so just visit with the attorney.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Kelly, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Victoria, July. So we know like the NFT lending space is relatively new and prone to scams. So how do you build reputation and trust?
Yeah, so really good, right? Great question, because we're adding a threshold to that. So what that means is, let's say you buy, right now there was an NFT that just sold for $1 million at Christie's. If let's say that item resold within 2 weeks, you wouldn't be able to add it to our platform because we're creating a grace period. That way, let's say a scam happens, you could report it. And by that time, we have some identifiers as far as if this is an item that was stolen. So yeah, we are adding a time frame as far as when you could relist after a purchase.
Great, all the best.
Okay, Gabriel.
Yeah, very interesting. I just wanted to ask you to add, from where are you getting the liquidity to do the NFT lending, right? Because the first business model that I see is how to calculate the assets, no? How to visualize the assets, and then the NFT lending, right? How you manage to do the liquidity, considering sometimes that I see so many NFT collections that are not liquid, no, at all, despite the speculation.
Very good.
Buzzwords.
Yeah. So real quick. So part of the $3 million raise, 1.5 is going to be used for liquidity, and we're also going to lock in a credit line with JP Morgan. And then as far as valuating the asset, remember, we come into the space as collectors, literally portfolios nearly $1 million. So what do we look at? We look at floor price, liquidity, which is the velocity of transactions, and historical data. We also factor in if an item has an offer. So again, I like to say, if you look at Bored Ape at the top of the market, 100 ETH, we give a 25 ETH loan. If they default, even right now in today's market, that asset is worth 40 ETH.
Gotcha. Very interesting. We'd love to talk further. Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to pass the mic to Anna now that all of the presentations are done, and I'm going to encourage judges, if you haven't finished voting yet, please take a second to finish the vote.
Thank you, Victoria. Awesome event, startups. That is it. A little bit left and we will know who outperformed who, because our judges are finishing voting. Thanks to Victoria reminding, please look at the event page, that you make sure you're logged in after your profile, and this little dot is where you want it. That's from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest investment potential of the startup, 1 being the lowest. Please move this dot where you want it to be regarding each startup that you have heard today. We will sum up the votes of the judges from the first batch, from the second batch. I will talk to official judges, ask their feedback towards this startup, and we will find out who the winner is. Very, very exciting. And I would like to remind everyone that we are having a live event, Silicon Valley Unicorn Battle in the midsummer, 13th of July. That's within our 4-day program for the Silicon Valley. It will be a grand happening. You know, as always, if you haven't been to our events in person, that is not to miss event, because everything you love about online events, in real event, it's tripled. Real people, real emotions, real startups, real investors, real food, real drinks, real fun. So join us, welcome, drop me, Victoria, other event managers a note, and we will make sure you are there. Okay, while I was talking, I can see that almost everyone has finished voting, but still I will give you a little bit like 10 seconds, and I will switch on the music. The end of music means the end of voting. Please make sure you are finished voting, because then I will be closing the votes. Here we go. Okay, and we are done. Support, please let me know that we can close the votes. Yes, okay. I push the button stop voting. Everybody is done. And Do you see my screen? Yes. Business angels. Business angels express their attitude towards our startups in such a way, putting them from 7th place to first. 7 is the startup who got the most, 7 points. Okay, next one, expert board. And expert board goes like this, very interesting. And official judges. And official judges. We don't have a consensus. And let me talk to dear official judges. Gabriel, please tell me who your favorites today and why, and some feedback towards startups.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. Well, I was glad to see several startups we have seen before, no, in the weekly competitions such as Deep Eye, Medicsen, Deep Media, and honestly, I was biased to pick the same, right? Because I really like them, both. Some of them driven by AI, the healthcare, and also fake news. And Medicsen is also very interesting. I had the opportunity to talk as well before the competition, so I would say that's kind of like my choices just right there. You see it right there. But all of them were quite interesting, and as well as Network on the NFT lending and Authority. So I think there is a lot of potential.
Cool. Yes, very strong startups, very strong. Really like our final today. John, what do you think?
Yeah, thank you so much, Anna, and thank you for all next unicorns for great pitches. It was very difficult for, actually, my most favorite one was Deep Eye, and surprisingly to see it's also another judges think it's best one. And personally, I like the Neti Wars, has actually still big potential. Some people still concerned about those Web3 industries. I see still I can see the big potential, and I love to keep in touch with everyone. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, John, so much. And Fabio, how did you like our startups?
I just picked the first and the second place as the best startups. So I think that health tech in this moment, solving real problems with this kind of potential reach all over the world, and solving in a very effective way very delicate problems should be the most successful one. So I'm completely aligned to the results.
Great. Thank you, Fabio, so much. And Kai, what do you think about our startup pitches today?
Yeah, awesome. I saw a couple of them previously in the rounds, and really good field. Without singling out anyone, some of my favorites definitely are up on top here as well. Deep Eye, Medicsen, also Authority. Traffic tickets are a pain, so anything that makes them easier is welcome. Also happy to see a German venture from my home country there. Thanks so much for having me, and really appreciate it.
Our pleasure, Kai. Thank you so much. Leon, were startups pitching differently in the second batch comparison to the first one?
I didn't make any serious changes. Actually, in the first batch, I selected the right startups. And my favorite is Deep Media. I can explain why. Because I consider this market today like something like antivirus market 25 years ago. And because deepfake, it's a huge problem. And companies who will make the first, second, third places in this market, they will become the second Checkpoint and other billion-dollar companies, because market is growing. And this problem is the most important problem among all these problems we have today, because it has an impact, intimate impact on our humanity.
Absolutely, agree with you totally. Thank you, Leon, so much. And Kelly, you're always one of our strictest judges. Were you generous today or strict?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much, Anna, Alex, and Victoria for organizing another extraordinary Unicorn Cup. So I believe each and every one of you is a winner. Congratulations on the remarkable work you have accomplished so far. So my 3 picks today are deep media. I think the deepfake detection market demand continues to surge. The key lies in how quickly the company can educate and grow the market and form a really strong team to amplify their competitive advantage. Another one is net worth. Although the NFT lending industry is relatively new, I think the market demand is there, and it's critical for them to build a strong reputation and ensure the scalability of the platform. My 3rd pick is DeepEye, and I believe the company's patented technology can benefit many people around the world. So overall, I'm truly honored to have had the privilege of witness so many outstanding startups and visionary entrepreneurs and chasing their dreams firsthand. So I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly, so much. And Alexander, does official judges as group represent your personal point of view, or you voted a little bit differently, and why?
You know, and I voted, I put the best marks last time because every startup already won the competition before. Yeah. So it was not an easy job to vote today. So my marks, in fact, were not really different for every startup, maybe just a bit. And they are from different industries and different stages, so it's not so easy for judges. But anyway, we are judges. We must take tough decisions, and I put the highest mark today for Axion and DeepEye.
Wonderful. Great to know that. Okay, I am ready to reveal who the winner of the Unicorn Cup of the spring season of Unicorn.Events is. Ta-da! That's the full board and the winner, the one and only. Dear DeepEye, it's your moment of glory. Please speak up.
Hi there. Thanks a lot. Appreciate to win again. We didn't expect this, but yeah, I just want to quickly share this also with my team, because this is actually the first time, I can really say it's the first time I ever meet my team. We are a distributed company.
Wow.
And the last time we met, I had Corona. So this is the first time we meet, and we are in a Bavarian beer garden, as you can see.
Great! You have a celebration point now. You have something to celebrate.
Now we have one more reason to celebrate, not
Absolutely.
just meeting us, but
World
also
finals.
Thanks for this great feedback, and I'm looking forward to all the connections we made after the last one. We already got a lot of feedback. Thanks again.
Thank you. Come to visit us in Silicon Valley. We'll celebrate together. We also like to party.
If you have Bavarian beer, like, you know, this is a small one.
Bring it with you now. Bavarian beer. Yeah, it can be found, but it's not that easy. Bring it.
Have a great day. Thanks a lot.
Yes, see you. What a wonderful winner we have. They are already celebrating. Love the attitude. And everybody, as our judges were mentioning, is the winner. Because, guys, you won the semifinals. You have overpassed all the competitors, and you had met so many amazing investors here at our events. So please remember to shoot us a note when you find an investor, because we follow, we do not lead, and we would like to also help you to become a big success and be part of this success. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. We have an open mic. If anybody wants to say something, it's time to say it. We have a couple minutes to go before we close our wonderful Unicorn Cup of the spring season. If not,
yeah, let's take a group smile photo.
Yeah, John likes taking smiling photo. Yes, everybody smile.
Everyone, show me your biggest smile. Turn up on camera. All right, say cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, thank you. Take care, everyone.
Take care, John. Thank you. Yes.
Thanks,
and,
Anna. Thanks, Victoria.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thanks for
everyone.
organizing. Great
Thank
evening.
Thank
Bye.
you. See you. Bye-bye. See you. Bye-bye.